today, so excuse the crappy audio. The big dummy, the OG. He came home for 2 weeks. He was off from work, and he brought a Suburban. And like a good dad, I'm doing some PMs on it, changing the shocks, changing the oil, lubing the front end, giving it a once-over. But he did say he's got a check engine light that comes on and off. He noticed that it comes on when he's backing up on a hill, either down a hill or up a hill, and when he goes in reverse and he backs out of a spot that's on a hill. And then he said on his way home on the trip, it was on most of the trip, and then he got fuel at the last fuel stop, and as soon as he started it up after fueling, the check engine light went off. So it could be a gas cap, it could be some kind of fuel level in the tank, evap kind of thing, because of the hill issue. I don't know. But I plug in the scan tool to his OBD port and it's dead. So I asked a friend of mine who's a mechanic, and he goes, oh yeah, there's probably a fuse. It's going to be under the hood in those trucks. And this is a 2004 Suburban, GMT-800, Silverados, pickups, Escalades, you know, all those. They're sort of the same with it. So I came to the underhood fuse panel here, and I got a multimeter, and I put it on DC voltage, and I'll bring the camera in and show you what I did to try to narrow it down. Now you got your fuse diagram on the back of the cover, and you got all your fuses. So you go DC volts 1 to ground, and I have ignition off because the OBD port should have power with ignition off, and when you plug the scan tool in, it should power up because it's got a power source. So I start going through the fuses methodically, one by one, and I touch I'll put the meter up there, but I'll touch one side of the fuse right through the top. I'm not taking the fuse out, right? Okay, this fuse doesn't have voltage on either side. Okay, this fuse here, oh, I got 12.19 on this side, and then I go to this side and I got the same thing, 12.19. So you know the fuse is good because it's got current on both sides, and some of these fuses aren't going to be powered with the ignition off, but we know the fuse we're looking for is with the ignition on. So I go through all the fuses here, up and down, up and down, up and down. Then I get to this 20 amp one, and I go on one side and 12.19. I go on the other side and I got 0.1 millivolt. So I know that fuse ain't any good. So I look on the diagram, and that fuse is supposed to be a 15 amp. It's a 20 amp in here, so we know it was changed, but it's for the cigarette lighter. So I'm like, well, that ain't it. And I'm expecting it to be some kind of ECM or some kind of, there's one that says IPC, DIC, SEO, ignition. I mean, there's all these different things here. And like the cigarette lighter ain't the one. Well, let me pull it out and make sure it's bad, first of all. I mean, it tests bad without pulling it out. All right, so I pull it out. And sure enough, I don't know if it comes through on the camera, but this fuse is blown open, all right, and it is no good. It is a 20 amp. So I got to replace it anyway, and of course I don't have a 15 amp that's going in there. The lowest fuse that I had handy was a 25, but I'm going to stick the 25 in there just to see if it immediately blows. So again, I'll test one side, 12.18. I'll test the other side, 12.18. All right, so the fuse doesn't immediately blow, so there's not a hard short in the circuit. It's for the cigarette lighter. Maybe they plugged something in that was bad. You know, who knows? It probably hasn't worked since he got the truck. He's only got the truck in January, so he's had it about 6 months. I don't know that port ever worked at all. Who knows? However, it's not solving my problem because I need the OBD. So I need that OBD to work. Well, would you believe the cigarette lighter fuse is the fuse that sends power to the OBD? Who would have thunk it? Not me, not this guy, but if your OBD2 port is dead, chances are that cigarette lighter fuse is the one. Let's go inside and see. So inside, I got my scan tool hooked up, and my scan tool is powered up. Holy cow. So that's it. Little quick video. Fuse. Unusual to me that the cigarette lighter fuse is going to control the power to the OBD port, but in these GMT-800 vehicles, like I said, Suburbans, Tahoes, Yukons, Escalades, Silverado pickups, Sierra pickups, all the 2000 and 2006 or so. It probably even runs other years and other models in GM, but I guess it's a GM thing. Cigarette lighter fuse sends the power to the OBD2 port so that you can get power for your scan tool. Hope you enjoyed the video. As always, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.